Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Chris Chan article. You have to forgive me; my breath absolutely stinks of garlic. Just I like to put like a lot of garlic. I mean, like too much garlic on my pizza. It does the job. It literally scaring away as many people as possible with the breath. Which is kind of like what we're going to be talking about today, in a sense, because this is the use of the term virgin with rage. This one is just going to be... I mean, you can tell already by this very crudely drawn Yu-Gi-Oh card exactly what sort of thing we're going to get into. Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage. Tell me why I need so a cute girl my age. Tell me why I end up shitting myself. I need some new pants. Virgin with rage was Chris's description of himself whilst he was still a virgin, evidently one with rage. Chris claimed that he was a virgin. His condition engendered frustration and, well, rage. Chris was very self-conscious about being a virgin, and frequently brought up the subject unprompted, even in casual conversation. I'm not surprised. With people he had only just met. Well, yeah, that's a one way to, make friends, isn't it? Why would Chris... Chris went to, he said he went to an adult social group and all that. I'm pretty sure he only really went there for a few classes and learned absolutely nothing with them. He stopped this. However, after being advised by his parents that it wasn't a good idea to mention that he was a virgin with rage, he stopped this practice. One of the few times he has learned from his mistakes. Very few times, but what can you do? In April 2012, Chris finally lost his virginity to a prostitute known as Mia Hamm. It changed nothing about Chris's life whatsoever. Bit like when you have sex for the first time, if sometimes just absolutely nothing changes from it. And what's this? For each monster on the field, increase virgin with rage's attack by 500. For each female on the increase... What on earth? Why, indeed? Hormonal rage. Or, sexual frustration. That he can't get it up someone. Chris was extremely distressed about the possibility of being destined to be a virgin forever. Sometimes I would want to touch her shoulder or back, feel her hair or give her a hug. I hold those urges back because I care about her, and to keep myself from flying crazily off the handle at a random time. I keep my hormones in check at least twice a week by myself. Chris on Megan, story of my current days. Wasn't this the email in which he explained that, Megan somehow might be inexperienced to sex? Is that what this one was about? Despite his claims that he was holding back, the emails with Megan paint a very different picture, describing instances of him doing exactly what he says he wouldn't by giving her random and unwanted touches. In another instance, Chris attempted to kiss Emily by surprise, during an unusually generous hug, but she was unable to avoid it and left unscarred. That would have counted for sexual assault if that actually did happen. Also during the father call, Casey's father, Matthew DeVoria, accused him of feeling Casey in a touchy-feely manner, including touching her shoulder and sniffing her. Chris mentions this was because he was nervous, the similar excuse he pulled on Emily at the time, and because he wanted to see which one of her perfumes was better. Sure, Chris, sure. Likewise, Facebook correspondence between Chris and a young man named Joshua Alba revealed this pearl. I thought of a funny message for a Valentine's Day card. On the outside, please be mine, and on the inside, my hormones are slam banging and I do not have a woman to put them in. I am not a sex freak, I'm just lonesome and sometimes horny. Well, you're right about the first and the last part. You are a sex freak and, well, sometimes, but almost all the time, definitely. So, basically, a violent pervert is what we can gather from this. References by Chris. So Need a Cute Girl, a song which Chris recorded in August 2003, features the first known use of the term virgin with rage. Chris's letter to Nintendo Power magazine about Sprung from the spring of 2014 concludes, "So thank you Nintendo and Ubisoft for the dating advice that this frustrated virgin needed." The first issue of Sonichu's News Dash from 2004 featured Chris's poem Saddest Heart in the World, where he whines repeatedly about his virginity and repeats some of the lyrics from So Need a Cute Girl. According to an entry in Quick's diary from September 2004, Chris told his lonesome virgin story to a jerk cop who interpreted his loitering at the mall. After he lost Chop Chop Master Onion's rap showdown, Chris sent an angry email to Sony where he announced, "Yet now I am a frustrated, high-functioning, autistic 25-year-old virgin, have been balls broken like I have through a big chunk of my life in America's favorite game, Kick the Autistic. Sigh." You gotta love how Chris always have to make sure he gets the point across by including sighing, even in his emails. Likewise, his PSN update blog from after losing the contest includes the line, "I am a frustrated, high-functioning, autistic, 25-year-old virgin." In Chris's first video address of the post-ED era, Chris Chan's public announcement. He doesn't actually come out and bluntly announce that he's a virgin. Quick's second message, however, hammers the point home. There, Chris calls himself the innocent, still 26-year-old virgin. Define innocent, and we'll see. During his IRC chat fan chat from 26 October 2008, Chris billed his fictitious new girlfriend, Chloe, as his virgin taker. He never mentioned Chloe ever again, though. Chris's New Year resolution for 2009 announced on IRC to lose my virginity with a woman. Like most people's New Year's resolutions, he failed to follow through. Not all of the time. While molesting his blow-up doll in the I Am Devoted to My Sweetest Ivy video from 17th of April 2009, Chris says, "Ivy, I promise my undying love and devotion. I promise you my heart, my soul, even my virginity." Chris's Wikipedia profile from May 2009 includes multiple references to his virginity. In the Quick Trolling More from the 19th of July 2009, Chris announced that he was still a virgin, retracting one of the more obvious lies in the Rolling and Trolling video. At the end of Quick's final warning to the second Quick from the 9th of August 2009, Chris sums up his achievements in life, including his trip to Ohio. Okay. And says that the only thing, mark, that's not been checked yet for a good life is the virgin breaker. And Chris, you see, it's when you're dealing with people like that where they seem to believe that literally having sex is the only thing you need to have a good life. I think that shows you categorically that they are 100% not ready, because suppose because what about the possibility of, pregnancy? Supposing, contraception was going to be involved. Or what about the fact that if Chris didn't intend to have children at all, what do you suppose the case would have been like? Well, one, they knew Chris beforehand, and they knew not so much his reputation, but what he is capable of doing. One of Chris's posts on the Adult Swim forums was signed "Lonely Virgin in Virginia, searching for a sweetheart soulmate." In the comment questions from 15th of January 2010, a correspondent asked Chris why he was so fixated on sex. He answered, "Oh, I don't know. How about being a frustrated virgin?" Seems a bit mean to say. He was only asking him a question. Chris's plea for sex to the Wallflower, it really is a plea, uploaded the 14th of March 2010, his standard whine about being a 28-year-old high-functioning autistic virgin. Again, people have said during that whole Wallflower fiasco is that Chris never even claimed to even like the Wallflower at all, and basically it was just about getting sex out of her, and virtually nothing else whatsoever. The 2009 Christian and the Hedgehog Boys comeback album has a song on it called Quick Like a Virgin, which is Chris's attempt to basically sing over the famous Madonna song Like a Virgin. A virgin no more, but with the rage all the same. On the 12th of April 2012, 2 leaked Facebook statuses depicted Chris as having finally lost his virginity. These posts contain several points highly suggesting Chris hired a prostitute. She compared him to the last guy she was with. True. She told him a blatant lie to make him feel good about himself. That's the way most people are with Chris. Perhaps the most telling of all, Chris said that his eventual sweetheart-to-be will find out about it, meaning that this was at least a one-night stand. Oh, I forgot to mention she really enjoyed my dick. It was so good and big for her. Then that dude she was last with, her words. You have rendered me speechless. I think this was like Kim Wilson who said this. Roughly a month later, on the 1st of May, Chris wrote in a Facebook note that his Virgin Breaker could be found somewhere on the Backpage. Most assumed he was referring to Backpage.com, a website well known for featuring sex service ads, before it was shut down in, I believe, 2019, I think. This made it even more apparent that Chris resorted to paying for sex, breaking a vow that he previously set for himself. But considering how much he tends to lie, we should have saw this coming from like a mile away. In a conversation that was leaked on the 25th of July 2014, Chris confirmed what everyone had already knew. He hired a prostitute to take his virginity. A few months later, a leaked email detailed his experience with her and revealed she went by the alias of Mia Hamm. Given that Chris practically had to bribe someone for his first time, all at the age of 30, this brings a less than ideal conclusion to the Virgin chapter of his love quest, which, despite his bragging, was never an option he considered with any level of enthusiasm. Incidentally, but then again, he promoted the idea that he would never date a black woman with all the envy and enthusiasm and all the anger of the world, so why should we not believe he would approach this in the same light? Incidentally, both prostitution and solicitation of prostitution are illegal in the state of Virginia. Therefore, Chris has committed yet another crime. Twice, actually, when he promoted himself as a male escort by the name of Carlos Chantor. Anyway, what's it? I have been in a good mood lately because I finally had sex, so I divulge a couple of details. I mean, seriously, I literally awake, and the first thing that comes to mind is the occasion, and I am smiling for hours. She was a very nice and sweet early 20s woman. And even better, she's half Cherokee. We've hit it off with a shared characteristic of being good people. Well, and a very delightful and pleasant conversation. We exchanged phone numbers and we did it in her room, and I put a nice gift basket for her to show my appreciation. Aside from me and she, only one other very trusted friend who led to us meeting knows the full story, and in the future the other person will learn of it as my sweetheart-to-be. If you really want to know, you'd have to stay with me for a long while and more. Chris bragging about how he paid for sex. Well, is anybody really surprised? You know, who would? Unless they had to be paid for it. Aftermath. Despite his hopes, losing his virginity did not appear to make Chris any happier. His Twitter and Facebook updates in the weeks and months and years since showed him sliding deeper into depression. An April 2012 post on Twitter stated, "The Virgin Breaker was a great milestone for me, and it made me feel more self-confident, but still, it was one thing. I still require my sweetheart." In an August 2013 message, Chris even mentioned that he was somehow more stressed. And in August 2014, the Sonic Boom saga, which saw Chris incensed over a very small change to a video game franchise, and would eventually lead to him committing a felony, began. Since the idea guys planted their ideas into Chris's mind, however, Chris has found a relatively more fulfilling way to conclude his fuck quest by getting into a polyamorous marriage with his imaginary friends Magi-chan, Crizel, Rose-Chew, Sylvana, and Mewtwo. For what it's worth, he seems to be genuinely happier than he did when pursuing real-world Tom Tom for his duck to pound. So, there's that. There was that indeed. Maybe we should just rewrite this entire article to just, so there's that, the article. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is Chris's Virgin with Rage. Like, all we could say right now, and maybe it's just the best way we can end off this video, with any sort of, like, you know, confidence whatsoever, is that Chris is definitely not one of these things. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this this article of Chris being a virgin with rage, and I'll hope so of you guys again in the next video. Take care, bye bye for now.